Hello, everyone. Welcome to this special edition of Every Day is Wednesday. I am Ciara Thurman.
And I am Ariel Barnes.
And today we have actor Marcus Henderson, an American actor who is best known for his role as Walter in Jordan Peele's Get Out, Granny Smith in Snowfall, and many other well-known projects. Thank you for joining us on this special edition of Every Day is Wednesday. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. How are you all?
Great. Thank you for asking.
I'm good too.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome.
All right. I'll allow Ariel to go ahead and take the first question. Let's jump right in it.
Okay, so the first question we had was, who sparked your interest into acting? Like, who was the person that really wowed you to really pursue this career?
Wow. Okay. I think that's a heavy responsibility to put on one person. So I'm gonna divvy out that responsibility just a tad bit. I grew up watching a lot of TV, so naturally, watching a lot of people on TV, watching Martin, watching Fresh Prince, things like that, watching Saturday Night Live. I had a knack for wanting to just enjoying watching things, right? So there's that element, but I never knew how you got on TV. I never understood how that worked. But then when I got to high school, I joined drama because I didn't want to do JROTC or home ec. So I ended up doing this class. Mr. Jones was my teacher, and Brian Jones was my teacher, and he kind of had a way of explaining things about how you felt when you would perform. And that was really interesting to me because I just kind of think with the right side of my brain, how I feel about things. And so I was like, okay, this is cool, but football was my thing. I was like, I'm playing football. But then I went to Alabama State, shout out. And I met Dr. Latoyia Stewart, and she kind of introduced me to the art of being, and that took a whole new turn into where I was going to go in life, and I didn't even know it. And before you knew it, I ended up going to Yale, and I met teachers there that sort of changed my perspective of what acting is. It's more than a performance. It's more than this thing that you just go out there and just do. There are tools that you have to actually construct and make it so that you're manipulating a whole world in front of people. So I think that those combination of things is what really got me going about I can do this, or I want to do this as a career.
Thank you for that answer.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and take the second question. What has been your favorite role to play and why? I know so many.
Right.
I mean, because when you ask that question, are we just talking TV, or are we talking overall, even in theater, or are we talking about life,
I would say
just
movies?
movies?
I guess in general.
In general? Oh my God, man. I love the role of dad. I love being a dad. I love spending time with my kids and transforming into this person that's going to build and grow the future of humanity. That's a weird concept to put out there, but it's true. Everything that parents do for their children is going to go into what's going to happen to us in 50 years. So I like the idea of being a dad. I like the feeling of it and being a part of the continuing of humanity. So
I like that.
No, that's a great
answer. But in terms of what I feel the question is, my favorite role that I've ever played has to be Autumn from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. It's such a fun role. It's such a like meaty, like everything an actor is in that role, and like it's so fun.
I felt that.
It's so much fun. And then when it comes to like TV and film, I've had fun with all my roles. I think the most fun I've had is on Tacoma FD. You know, it's just like silly humor, you know, but it's got a lot of heart, and we get to really bond as a crew, as a family. And so I love that. I love being with those guys. So that's probably like my favorite because of the feeling, you know. But then you got things like Get Out that had a huge response, right? That like everybody knows. It was at one point in time I couldn't go anywhere where it wasn't like somebody's like, "Hey, you the dude from Get Out," and, you know, somebody running towards me or something, you know, like so. So that has a different response, I guess, you know, when it comes to. I can't say that like it was like I had like a ton of fun on set, you know. I did, but like it's just different, you know. It's different.
So can you see yourself playing more serious roles like a dad, or do you feel like thriller is your top genre?
I think because of my personality, thriller will always kind of be a thing where I can live, you know. Right. But I like doing fun stuff, man. I like being able to. I like when the camera, when they say cut, and I'm still breathing through the character, that it's like love and fun, and not like, you know, this brood and heartache. Like I don't like to live in that. I don't want to live in that. Nobody wants to live in that. So
that's nice. I like that. Okay.
All right. So this next section is for new and upcoming actors. So let's say I'm new in the film industry, right? Right. And I want to act in a movie. Ooh. Briefly explain what actions I need to take to act in my first official movie released in theaters.
Okay. All right. So first of all, I'm gonna say that there's levels to that. You can come to Hollywood and just put yourself online and they'll call you and you can be an extra in a movie tomorrow. That's fine. If that's your goal, if that's what you want to do, cool. If you want a speaking part in a movie, you know, those can be achieved in a number of ways. Depends on who you know. It depends on like your representation. You know, that's really the key. But you know, some representation is easier to get to than others. So then it becomes this thing of goals. Like, what is your goal for when you come out here? If you're trying to emulate somebody else's career, if you're saying, "Oh, I want a career like Denzel Washington," so you're gonna come out here and you just gonna get to work. You know what I mean? You're gonna do whatever it takes, because that's what he did to climb to the top. You know, he worked. Like, it wasn't just about getting on TV. It was about doing theater. It was about like making connections. It was small parts that led to bigger parts. You know, so he did what it took. You know, some people come out here and end up being big social media stars. That's something that has come up in lately. You know, they like get their ideas out there. They put their ideas on social media, and they may not get paid for it right up front, but they stay consistent. So therefore, that consistency turns into other opportunities. So I would say, you know, if you could go that route. But the really simple, easy answer is that you get an agent by making phone calls, by asking people questions, by just doing the work. And that agent, you take classes, you know, you prove your worth, you do auditions, you get the part, you in the movie, you in the TV show.
So just one quick follow-up question. Is it impossible to make it without an agent?
No, it's not impossible at all. But here's the thing, in this business, you do not walk through the door by yourself. It doesn't happen. You don't walk through the door by yourself. Somebody walks you through the door. No matter who it is, somebody walks you through the door. Now, once you're in the door, that's your journey. That's what you do. But I can guarantee you that there's nobody in this business and nobody that you've ever seen or admired or loved that didn't have a sponsor.
I agree. Okay, so the next question is, we know you've worked, on popular productions like Get Out, where you played as Walter, Pete's Dragon, where you played as Rudro, and Insidious, where you played as Detective Whitfield. I understand before you got into the film industry, you used to act in plays. For a student who is clueless about movie industries, what are differences in acting in a stage play versus a movie or a film?
I got a funny story that an actor named Paul Giamatti told us, but I'll save that one for a more personal introduction with people. But basically, with film, it's just a much more intimate experience where it's just you and the camera, like it's you and your scene partner, but the real scene partner is the camera. It sees you in ways that nobody else is gonna see you, but everybody's gonna see you this way. You know what I mean? Like, so it's a really, it's just being alone by yourself, really. On stage, it's a much more broader experience in terms of like how you have to reach the back of the audience, like you can't come to the stage with that TV acting, right? Like you can't come in, trying to be all intimate and into it and you making this tiny little space, man. You got to open that world up. You got to like make it big. So I would say that's the biggest difference. Professionally, the pay is much different. Get paid a lot more for TV and film than you do doing stage work. So
that was a great answer. Thank you so much for that. How soon should one start auditioning for roles?
In acting in general, like you see a good actor, it's something about them that's like confident in their ability, or they just have a natural talent. But like a good act, like somebody that you like really enjoy. Like we all have insecurities, so I don't want to like make it seem like somebody's so perfect, but being confident in your ability. I'm confident in my ability in acting as much as as the average person is to get up and walk out the door to go start their day. You know what I mean? Like I'm not, for me, I've cracked my own code in it, and it's going to be different for everybody. But for me, like there's not a script you can hand me where I'm not going to be like, okay, cool, let me try it out. Because it means that much to me. So with that, in this industry, and when you come in with the label of actor, you are going to audition for people's projects. When you audition for people's projects, there is a 50-50 chance that you will be picked for that project. Yeah, You either get it or you don't. When you start to realize the number of people who audition for that project, that 50-50 kind of goes down. And it goes to like 2%. You got a 2% chance that you're gonna get this role. But what your confidence does is your confidence lets you know that regardless of the chance, if it's for you, you'll have it. And it's as simple as that.
I like that answer. Thank you. That means a lot.
I like that.
You give it up.
What's
You give
meant
it
for you will
up.
always be for you.
You give it up for people who, sometimes we stop ourselves and we allow ourselves to not even do it because we say, oh, it's a 2% chance I'll even get this role anyway. You just made the chances greater for the next person. You gave up. So I think that a person should start auditioning when they have the confidence to know that I'm doing this because I got a chance. So if you don't have that confidence, there's it's just going to be a spiral down a different road, and you're going to start questioning yourself, and you're going to start changing yourself, and you're going to start doing things that make you unnatural to the process in which you got into it in the first place. You know what I mean? That a musician starts by hearing a chord, a note, a song, something, and it inspires them to want to play, create, build, trust music. You know what I mean? So like, that's the same thing for a performer. Like, it's something in us that we have to keep. That keeps us, in that space to be able to transform. And if you don't have that confidence, then you don't need to audition.
I 100% agree with that. Thank you so much for dropping those gems. I mean, you spoke on consistency, just being confident, and just believing in yourself. So I do have another question for you. Mm-hmm. When it comes to longevity and handling contracts, what's more crucial, personal connections or a talent agent?
If somebody decided they didn't want a talent agent anymore, right? They decided they was gonna fire their talent agent. I feel like that would be a scary place to be if you are in demand. Like we talked about Denzel, right? He's the top. He's just like the dude we think about, right? Who's like top tier actor, but also like just the $1 million man, in terms of like movies. And if he decided to fire his agent and just go off of his personal connections, that's just like a place of like, it's a machine at the point of his career. You know what I mean? Like his agents, his managers, his lawyer, his publicist, all these people are working in conjunction with each other so that the rest of his life runs smooth the way he wants it, in the schedule that he wants it, so that he can have the lifestyle and provide the lifestyle for his family that he wants, right? So if he stopped that and just went on personal connections, then something in the machine would be messed up, right? So then it'd be like off. Somebody's doing more work than what they need to be doing because there's a piece that's missing, but then there are people who don't have all of that, and this isn't an actor or anything, but a musician named, to my understanding, Toby and Wigway. He's doing everything himself. He does it all himself, it feels like. And everything that he's gained, or the notoriety he's gained, and the people who are willing to go to bat for him, all seem to be personal connections and not through any type of, so it looks like it's more of a freedom in his ride of climbing to this echelon, or this place that we look at, that we want to be, or the public eye. And so you know, I look at those two examples and I go like, oh, okay, if they both work, they both can do the thing. But for me, one is a machine. One is like a willing, like knowing like this is what I'm getting myself into and I'm going to leave it up to other people. And the other one is like, I'm going to do all the work and I'm going to like, and I'm gonna benefit from it too, you know, like, so I don't know. I guess they both can work. I don't want to discourage anybody from doing one or the other. I just think it's a choose your own adventure kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true, because everybody's story is different and everybody's outcome and starting is very much different. So either or, it will probably lie.
Yeah.
I want to ask you about the do's and don'ts in the movie industry.
Ooh.
What are some things you wish you knew sooner?
That you don't have to go to school to pursue acting. I'm glad I did, but I didn't know that I didn't have to, you know. I just took, I guess in hindsight, it's just a safer route because the chances, when we talk about the percentage or the chance of you getting something or being seen, because I went to school, I'm automatically in a category of trained actor, right? But then because of the pedigree of school I went to and the persons who trained me, because of, you know, where their name goes, I think that sort of puts that kind of widens the chance a little bit. You know, I can go from 2% to 10, you know. But it just all depends. So I'm glad I went to school, but I didn't know I didn't have to, you know. What else? If you know that what you want to do, if you're a good actor and you know what you want to do, don't do background work. Unless you just need film experience and you need to know what it's like to be on set. But don't do background work if you know that you're like, if you know what it is that you want, go after it and don't do background work. So, and nothing against background work, by the way. I'm totally about it and I've done it before, and that's why I'm saying don't do it if you know what you want. I didn't know what I wanted, and so I guess that's why I did it, because I was just so curious, but I would never do it again after that experience. Invest in your friends and the people around you.
Yes, that's 100% true.
You know, and if you don't want to invest in them, don't hang around them. You know what I mean? Like, that's like, don't spend time with people that you don't want to invest in, you know. And just as like friends and people, not even when it comes to like projects, because that's like the other part of it where it's like, you know, mixing friendship and business, and that gets murky. So, you know, invest in the people around you. You know what? If you love acting like you can't live without it, find something else to do. Just find something else to do. Don't stop trying to pursue acting, but just like don't get caught up in the idea that you are just an actor and all you do is act and I need a script in my hands because this is what I do. Don't forget about life, man. Like, pick up an instrument, learn to play. It's never too late for anything. You know what I mean? It's never too late for anything. I get mad at my parents sometimes because I'm like, y'all, you can still learn how to text, man. It's not that far from you, bro. It's a button and then you push the letters that you want to make words and you separate it with a space bar. It's that easy. Come on.
He'll get it.
He'll get it. No, I mean, but seriously, man, like, I could have put all my eggs in a basket and been like, I'm an actor and that's it. And I could face a lot of heartache in the idea of the amount of rejection that you can feel from it. But again, that confidence and, that knowing that in the spirit that tells you that everything's going to be okay really helps. And, I went out and I learned how to do other things, you know what I mean? Like, go learn how to work on a car or something like that. I mean, like, just something that makes you useful in the future so that, like, when the call does come and when you are ready to, like, move forward, that you stay ready so you ain't got to get ready.
Right. Divine timing.
Hey.
I like that answer. I like all that. A lot of people don't even realize there are a lot of don'ts in LA, and when it has something to do with the film industry and the acting career, a lot of people always think once you arrive to LA or once you arrive to New York, it's always going to be right there handed to you. And when in reality, as soon as you walk there, you're going to get hit with something every 2 seconds, and it's going to knock you down in a heartbeat. So it's all about that strength and that strong and that confidence in you mentally, emotionally, and physically on how you're going to get back up, how you're going to keep going and reaching for that star. So I like those.
Alrighty, so we always like to end our interviews with some fun questions to get a deeper understanding of you. Yeah. The only requirement we ask is that you answer each question truthfully.
Okay.
No pressure.
I can't promise it.
So who, according to you, is the best dressed man in Hollywood?
What?
That's gonna be a hard one.
You can just pick yourself.
No, you know what? I'm gonna say that just because he wears some wild stuff, and he's my boy Lakeith Stanfield.
Okay, that's a great answer.
That's my boy.
That is true. Okay, so if you was a character in a Madea movie, which character would you be?
I'd be the bus driver in the first 10 minutes of it, and then you wouldn't see me no more. And I collect my check. Yeah,
why?
Yeah, that's what I do.
You don't want to be no big one in the Tyler Perry movie?
I feel like it's just never been an aim for me to be in his productions, I guess. Right. But it's nothing against what he does or who wants to be in it or anything like that. So I don't know, like that would be hard to say. Like if he was making the movie that I wanted to make, then I would be playing like some like sci-fi hero, like maybe if Tyler Perry made like a sci-fi hero movie, I would consider being in a Tyler Perry movie. That's who I want to play.
So last but not least, since you went to Alabama State University, what made you choose them over Alabama A&M University? You got some explaining to do.
Woo! Oh man, no, I love Alabama. Man. I have so many friends that went to Alabama A&M, and like, I'm so proud of any HBCU, especially out of Alabama. Like, I'm always bragging and putting everybody's best foot forward. So like, I love to like jazz and do all the things with the rival schools. But the truth is, man, like I'm rooting for anybody coming out of our schools because it's so like I had such a great experience at Alabama State, and I started to realize why once I went to Yale. And it's really because like I didn't have to like define who I was at school. Like I really got to grow as a person because there was an aspect of me that was already accepted. So I wasn't jumping through hoops or questioning my worth or my value based on me being the other. My other was that I was just weird, or I was just into different things, so that made me weird. And that's what I love about a Black community, because it's like, oh, he don't, you know what I mean? He not trying to like play basketball and, you know, sell drugs, so he weird. He one of them weird dudes. So it's like, oh, okay, cool. I'll be the weird dude.
Well, thank you.
Do y'all got like a theme song, like every day is Wednesday?
Okay.
Every day is Wednesday. Yeah. Hey.
Just did say you were funny.
Thank you so much again.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right. Love y'all. Thank you so much, man. I'll talk to y'all soon.
You too. Be safe.
All right. Bye.